So, when you look at certain science fiction and, fantasy films, I guess, but mainly science fiction, one can't help but draw the immediate comparison to the fact that some of the biggest franchises available at the moment, in particular Aliens, Predator, to a lesser extent John Carpenter's The Thing, derived their success originally from the boogeyman in the closet, the monster under the bed, the thing in the shadows, the original horror notion that there is something out there, we don't know what it is, and it's going to rip our faces off if we don't, get the fuck out of Dodge. I think a lot of people have forgotten that, and especially when they look at science fiction nowadays, you do occasionally have something. I mean, the remake of The Thing that was done there a couple of years ago, I think was a very good homage, stuck to the original notion of the horror of trying to figure out who is going to be the critter, who's going to be the one that jumps out. And actually, that's another one, Critters, originally, horror movie. The notion that, we don't know exactly what that thing is, but it's there. Yes, as I said, it does get to the stage that if you've seen enough stories, it's all a matter of details and you know what the story is. But at the same time, these are sci-fi, which means that, that big budget that you may have heard me harping on about in previous rants gets put into useful things for, the special effects and whatnot, where if done right and if allowed to progress properly, can be every bit as terrifying as some of the stuff that we have seen gone by with perhaps lesser special effects, but, better storytelling, maybe. And I suppose storytelling being one of the things that sci-fi and fantasy have always driven to spearhead anyway, so fuck it, they're usually good enough with that. The thing is, though, in recent years, it seems that the notion of the monster from outer space is no longer being tackled as the creepy, terrifying, mysterious thing. Instead, it's open warfare films such as Battle LA, which, despite things against it, I thought was pretty good. Entire TV shows being devoted to things like that. Now, I'm a big science fiction fan. I'm all for it. Hey, go show me death and destruction anytime. Great fun. But also, I think when it comes to science fiction and how it pertains to horror recently, there's been a marked decline in the notion that space is fucking terrifying. We don't know what's out there, and anyone that says that we're the only things around is an idiot. Moron. Hell, there's that. I love that running theory that we're all entrapped in a hologram, which, makes perfect sense, because let's face it, we're probably the most terrifying thing around. We kill everything. We're good at it. We kill ourselves all the time. If I'm out there, I don't want anything to do with us. Virus. Ugh. There's a thought. Someone go along and do a great horror movie. Oh wait, no, hang on, they tried that with that Area 50, or that thing with the rock in it, that cartoon thing that was basically Alien in reverse. Do that, make it live action, make it good, and you might be onto something. Point is, space is a terrifying place, and there are an awful lot of archetype horror stories that can be taken and thrown up there. As previously mentioned, Event Horizon is perhaps one of the better ones when it comes to a pure horror story. However, Alien, to a lesser extent Predator, The Thing, there's a couple others that my brain is just blanking on at the moment, but trust me, have a look, they're out there. And if we're very, very lucky, no, that's not a good example, but a good film, Russian-made horror film that, Near Dark, Pitch Black, no, not Pitch Black, crap, never mind. Anyway, point is this, space is terrifying. It could be truly terrifying if we give the opportunity. Don't forget, the Lovecraft stuff that I'm continuously harping on about is all about giant interdimensional space gods that want to eat our souls. Think about it. Make something with it. Do it cool and sci-fi and fantasy. Well, fantasy's already, we don't know. Do it cool and sci-fi. Be mad. Big intergalactic battleships having to... No, wait, no, we didn't want the big thing. We want the subtle thing. Yes, spaceships all of a sudden getting destroyed. Mysteriously. Why? Because they keep crossing paths with things like Cthulhu. Stupid fuckers. Anyway, we need to see a resurgence in what was predominantly an 80s, late 70s, early 80s driven theme, and that is the notion of the big bad scary alien monster. Yes, I know, everyone's into the idea that aliens are peaceful and, hey, we can get on with some of them. That's fine, hey, great, woohoo. Encouragement all the way. But if you want people to watch a horror story, the idea is that it is something terrifying. If you want something terrifying, the best way to do it is to have a circumstance which is terrifying. And the best way to do that is to have one of the best unknown quantities available to the imagination. Space. Or under the sea. Mad shit under the sea. Sharks. Octopus. Anyway, end of discussion.